If you are over 60, the absolute worst thing you can do every morning is go out for a long, grueling walk thinking it keeps you safe. Top orthopedic specialists are now warning that this single mistake is silently accelerating your risk of a catastrophic fall faster than almost anything else. When you force aging joints through miles of concrete pounding without stabilizing your deep anchor muscles first, you are actively wearing down the exact neural pathways required to keep you upright. This mainstream routine is a deceptive trap that leaves your ankles vulnerable and your spatial coordination shattered. Instead of protecting your hard-earned physical independence, you are setting yourself up for a sudden, life-altering trip on the concrete sidewalk tomorrow morning. The brutal reality that your doctor isn't telling you is that walking only trains your forward momentum, leaving your lateral stability completely bankrupt. When you encounter a sudden slick surface, an uneven rug, or a high curb, your body cannot react in time because the stabilizer muscles in your hips and lower legs have completely gone dormant. You do not need more cardio endurance. You need an immediate structural intervention that rewires how your brain communicates with your feet. If you continue to ignore this hidden vulnerability, no amount of standard daily steps will save you when your balance inevitably gives out. Right now, we are breaking completely past the useless mainstream fitness myths to look directly at the clinical data regarding age-related mobility loss. Most seniors assume they are protecting their aging bodies by staying active, but deep behind the scenes, a destructive neurological breakdown called sensory motor drift is quietly cutting off critical communication lines to your lower limbs. Once you hit the age of 60, your nervous system naturally stops optimizing these specialized reflex pathways, leading directly to the sudden, terrifying loss of balance that forces thousands of independent adults into assisted living facilities every single year. You do not notice it happening until it is too late, because it doesn't cause obvious physical pain. Instead, it slowly erodes your subconscious spatial awareness, meaning your brain genuinely loses track of where your feet are positioned relative to the ground beneath you. This hidden physical degradation means that every single step you take on a daily basis becomes a high-stakes gamble with your personal freedom. A minor stumble that you easily brushed off in your 40s now carries the horrific potential to fracture your hip, trap you in a hospital bed, and trigger a downward spiral of permanent physical decline. The harsh clinical truth is that a single bad fall permanently destroys a senior's autonomy, leaving them entirely dependent on medical staff or family members just to navigate their own home. If you think you are completely safe just because you haven't taken a hard spill yet, you are operating on a dangerously naive assumption. The underlying weakness is already there, deep within your nervous system, waiting for one single misstep to upend your entire life. Fortunately, completely reversing this neurological decline does not require a gym membership, expensive physical therapy, or hours of grueling daily exercise. In exactly 60 seconds, I am going to show you the two remarkably simple, seated balance movements that can help correct this internal vulnerability almost immediately. But first, you must understand exactly why the mainstream medical solutions you are being told are actually making your stability significantly worse over time. If you do not understand the underlying biomechanical failure of standard physical advice, you will continue to waste your energy on routines that inadvertently leave your joints highly vulnerable to sudden, unexpected shifts in terrain while walking outdoors. When you perform standard, highly recommended leg exercises like heavy squats or long treadmill walks, you are actually placing an immense amount of localized stress on your worn-out knee joints and lower back vertebrae, effectively choking out essential neural communication. Think of it exactly like bending a standard rubber garden hose. The harder you push your body through traditional high-impact movements, the less pure neurological signaling gets through to the ankle muscles where it is desperately needed to maintain everyday posture. Your brain is trying to send stability commands downward, but the mechanical inflammation generated by heavy repetitive walking blocks those signals entirely, leaving your feet completely numb to subtle surface changes. This counterintuitive physical breakthrough works by completely bypassing that articular friction, instantly triggering a massive surge of neuromuscular activation using nothing but your own targeted body weight, while you remain sitting completely still in a standard household chair. By isolating the deep stabilizer muscles without grinding your knee cartilage or stressing your spine, we can rapidly awaken the dormant fast-twitch muscle fibers that are specifically responsible for catching your weight during an unexpected trip or slip. It effectively forces your nervous system to remap your lower extremities in real time, building an invisible safety net that keeps you perfectly upright without requiring a single ounce of traditional athletic straining. Here is exactly how to perform these two movements right now from the comfort of your own living room. First, sit perfectly upright in any sturdy kitchen or dining chair with both of your feet planted completely flat on the floor, keeping your spine entirely straight and your shoulders thoroughly relaxed. For the very first exercise, which is specifically engineered to target your deep ankle reflexes, you will keep your heels firmly glued to the ground while actively lifting your toes as high toward the ceiling as physically possible. You will immediately feel a tight, deep contraction forming along the front of your shins, which is the exact muscle group responsible for preventing your feet from dragging across thick rugs and causing sudden trips. Next, you will transition immediately into the second movement, which directly restores your lateral hip stability to prevent sideways wobbling. While remaining seated in the exact same position, place both of your palms firmly against the outside of your knees. Now, attempt to push your knees outward as hard as comfortably possible while simultaneously using your hands to resist that outward motion, creating a safe, highly targeted isometric tension that instantly forces your dormant gluteus medius muscles to fire up. Hold this intense but completely safe muscular engagement for 5 seconds, ensuring that you breathe deeply and smoothly throughout the entire process without tensing your neck or jaw muscles to compensate for the effort. To get the maximum possible benefit from this daily routine, you must execute exactly 10 slow, controlled repetitions of both movements back to back. Perform this entire sequence every single evening right before you go to sleep, and then repeat it once more before you let your feet touch the floor when you wake up tomorrow morning. This strict timing creates a powerful neuromuscular priming effect, ensuring that your brain is fully connected to your lower extremities the absolute moment you stand up out of bed. It completely eliminates that initial morning grogginess and instability that causes so many hazardous slips inside the bedroom, giving you an immediate foundation of absolute physical confidence before you take a single step. Commit to doing these 2 simple seated movements tonight, and you will notice an immediate, undeniable difference in exactly how steady and solid your legs feel tomorrow morning well before you even pour your first cup of hot coffee. There is absolutely no reason to leave your personal safety and your long-term physical independence up to pure chance when you can actively secure it using less than 2 minutes of targeted daily effort from a chair. Do not keep this crucial medical breakthrough to yourself. Send this video right now to someone you deeply love who needs to stay strong, fully mobile, and completely independent. By sharing this simple knowledge, you could easily save a close friend or a family member from a devastating injury.